It's yours truly, Janice, aka Amazon Warrior Empress. Aw. And I have my darling, wonderful counterpart, Miss Chris, aka Helia Firefly.
Hello, everyone.
And we are Sensually Twisted. And we came up with that name because we had to collaborate. We came together as educators, wanting to create community, wanting to empower other people, and definitely educate people within the lifestyle of the BDSM realm. And the group that Miss Chris has is Twisted Elegance, and mine's is Sensual Dominance. And the more we started collaborating and networking, just talking about, the things that we see in the community, we just decided to say, hey, yeah, let's work together. Let's take the take it full force, full throttle, and create a platform and a safe space so that way we can have these conversations and be able to enlighten people. Because there's a lot of information out here that is definitely misinformation, and a lot of people are getting misguided. So we just want to be able to help those who are looking for a safe space, help those who are looking to come into the BDSM realm, and so that way they can have the fundamentals. Like Chris and I talked about, we learned from old school people. I learned from my mom. She was in the BDSM community for a very long time, and she's a dominatrix. So I learned a lot from her. And Chris as well learned from old school people that, we learned from just having a straight foundation of being safe, sane, and consensual, and understanding that there's certain, rules and things that should be put in place in order for you to delve into this realm.
Absolutely. That was the purpose of initiating Twisted Elegance. I wanted to build a community for especially people of color, simply because this is an area that there's little education for us, and um, it's a big community, but we seem to be a very small part of that community. So we just really wanted to create a place where we could foster, learning about who we are as a people in this community, and have those meaningful discussions, as she was saying, teaching each other, what this is, teaching about ourselves and being okay, with being in this part of the community. Um, a lot of times we aren't, we're not very knowledgeable, so we're really trying to tackle the negatives also.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of negative connotations that are wrapped around BDSM, especially in our community. So a lot of us, this is something that is a part of us, but we're scared to kind of let out. So basically, really, the goal for us is like really to support each other, support you all on the educational journey, because that's what we're here for. We're here to educate. We want to share knowledge, and we want to just explore different topics. And doesn't matter whether you're new or whether you've been in for a minute like us. We're open to all conversation, all topics. Um, she's the sensual side of everything here. Um, I'm a little bit all over, so and we definitely want to make sure that we absolutely also make sure the mental health side is taken care of also, because
Mm-hmm.
as we get along in podcasts, we'll talk about the different tolls that even this lifestyle can take on our mental health. We just always want to check in with ourselves and make sure we're good, and we're doing this the correct way, the safe way, the same way, not like we see in mainstream media. That's one of the biggest problems. Mainstream media has caused a lot of people to jump into this without the education. And that's one of the biggest areas I contact, because people want this, but we don't want to do the work, and there's work in this. So we
Absolutely.
definitely are looking forward to the different conversations, the various, you know, discussions that we're going to have. Anything you want to discuss, you can always contact us, and we're willing to sit here and have that discussion with you. That's what we're here for. I'm gonna let her do most of the talking though, because yeah, because look, I'm gonna get tired of talking after a while, but definitely we are here for the education. We're here because we love this. This isn't something that we're just doing, just to say, okay, this is what it is, because as we've been told and we believe, this is not cookie cutter.
No.
So we're giving our side of what we do because we found a safe place and we found an element of this where we can enjoy it. So we want to share getting to that same place with everyone else in a safe way, in an educated way, and in a way that, you're comfortable with yourselves.
Absolutely. And self is definitely the first and foremost, the
Yes.
foundation. Self-love is the best love. And that's something that definitely we should be working on each and every day. And definitely coming into this realm, it's very imperative because you should know who you are at your core. You should know what your barriers are, what your traumas are. We all have certain things that just gets us excited, and then we have other things that just gets us like as a Debbie Downer, like, nah, this is not it. So we need to know those barriers. We need to be able to express ourselves, assert ourselves when it comes to those desires, those needs, those wants. So self-love is definitely the foundation along with the mental health. So you'll hear us definitely talk a lot about that because we're definitely advocates for that. And you got to have it. Just be able to create those boundaries for yourself. It's okay. It's not a cookie cutter situation where, just because Miss Chris, she's into the fire, I might be like, nah, I'm kind of scared of that, but you got to find your comfort level.
Right.
You have to find what works for you, what stimulates you, what engages you, and what keeps you feeling safe and in that form of expression, whatever that may look like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have a very vast group, um, which we hope to incorporate into the podcast, so you will get various views.
Mhm.
Because that's really what a lot of this is about. Again, like we said, it's not cookie cutter. So um the foundations, and I always stress this from day one. You always hear people say, "Oh, well, that's the old way it was done," and I do understand that we evolve as people and things evolve, but when it comes to this lifestyle, the foundations never change. And that's something that I will always stand on. That's something that I always believe. Your foundations never change. No two dynamics are ever going to be the same. And that's understandable. But that foundation that you build that dynamic on is always going to be the same. And it's always going to be safe. It's always going to be it's always going to be your basic fundamentals. And before, like Miss Warrior Princess here was saying, before you even step into that realm, you have to know who you are. You have to know where you identify in this lifestyle. We were just having a conversation, I think it was on yesterday, about titles, and you know how people title this, title that. It's really not about a title. It's about where you feel fulfilled. It's where you feel comfortable. Some people say, well, oh, I'm a dominant, da 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 da. I'll never be this. Okay, but you have plenty of people that are dominants and they're okay in submissive roles. It's not that they're submissive, but it's the acts. And I was taught by, I came to that conclusion by a couple of conversations that we've had within our chat. So we do have a Facebook group. Twisted has a Facebook group, and Sensual Dominance has a Facebook group. We'll put all that information down in the notes, but and we have a chat, so you're definitely welcome to join the chats. But in those chats, we have these conversations, and I'm beginning, and I've been doing this year 28 years, and I'm just now really understanding that it's not always about who you say you are. It's what makes you feel fulfilled at that time. and it doesn't necessarily make you a switch. It doesn't necessarily say, oh, well, he's a dominant, but, he feels comfortable having this, and that's a submissive role. Okay, it's what makes that person feel good at that moment. So that's why we're stressing learning yourself first. When I came in, I was not able to touch anything physically BDSM related until I could actually explain why I was here, what it was to me, who I identified as, and what I wanted to get out of this. And I think that's the first thing we need to learn individual wise because of the capacity of what this is, the vulnerability in this. And it's a very volatile community. And there's definitely safe ways to navigate it where you are, getting the fulfillment that you need. But you have to understand what it is that you're needing first and who you are. So definitely that's what our aim is. We're looking to just have a good time and learn us, learn the ins and outs, learning that BDSM isn't that stigma where it's always hard and mean and people are beaten up because BDSM is not abuse. It's not.
Right. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be. And hopefully we can help identify if you are in something that's abusive, to see those red flags so you can move out of that. That's, again, we are supporters of safety in this community. We're supporters of enjoying this lifestyle and getting the most and being the best you beyond anything else,
Exactly. Yeah, because like those identifiers, right? Like, I don't know. I've always been a out of the box thinker, so I never like when people try to put me in a box. So in this realm, I'm more like the educator coach. Because I learned so much from my mom. Like, she's 71, so she's an OG. She's been doing it for a long time, and she like really had like a library. I had a library of books, Tantra, Kama Sutra, just learning about so much. So I identify as a hedonist first and foremost because I am all about the pleasure, just being able to indulge in just pure pleasure. That's where the whole sensual aspect comes in. And a lot of people, when they hear BDSM, they thinking of Pornhub. Something crazy they might have saw on there, and it's like, wait, hold on.
That or 50 Shades of Grey. And yeah. I will honestly admit, though, I love the storyline behind 50 Shades of Grey because as females, we like the love story.
Yes.
The BDSM aspect of it, I was not too impressed because I'm like, okay, yeah, that's really not how it is. But okay.
It's a perspective.
It works for mainstream. The books were amazing, but yeah, the movies. But as a female, I enjoyed the love story behind it.
Yeah,
I'll give it that much. I enjoy the love story, but I think that's one thing that got a lot of people looking and eyeballing what BDSM is. So you see that, and then you jump into, oh, let me go online and da da da. But not everything you read online is the correct thing. So and then you skip the whole mentoring part. You skip the whole learning from the beginning, the basics. Oh, I want to be a dominant because I want to control somebody.
Right.
Or, oh, I'm submissive. I like doing what I'm told to do. Or I like the idea of control. But you don't know how to set boundaries. So these are all types of things that should be addressed before even stepping into this. And a lot of people are skipping that part. They're going to the excitement of a scene.
Right.
They're going to the excitement of, oh, this feels good when this is done and that is done, but who taught him how to tie you up? So a little about me, I come from the medical side of things. So I am a nurse practitioner with a doctorate. So I'm a DMP. And a lot of people don't realize within this realm of what we do, there are a lot of medical hazards. So we're definitely going to touch on medical hazards. you just don't let anybody tie you up. As simple as that is. There's a lot that can go wrong with that. People say, oh, well, stuff like fire and da-da-da. No, I won't do that. But something as simple as tying you up, something as simple as choking you. Um, Airplay is something I love, but I'm not going to let just anybody sit here and choke me either, because they could grab you in the wrong spot and that's it. That's it. So definitely there's a lot of things. This is why we're stressing the education part of it, because there's so much that can go negative. And it's not being the big bullies of the lifestyle. It's just wanting people to know how to do this sanely and safely and enjoy it.
Consensually.
Yes, and consent is a big must. There's no such thing as, oh, you said I could do this last time, so you're okay this time. No. And we're definitely going to touch on those things. We're going to open up a whole lot of can of worms.
Going in Commander's box, we're gonna pull it out.
We're going to touch on a whole lot. Like I said, like she was saying, today we're just kind of testing the water, seeing how it's going, playing around with everything. But we're definitely going to start digging and really getting into the meat and potatoes of what this is, because it's necessary. And I think that's why the stigma with our people is there, because the education isn't there. So, oh, you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know how this goes. So we're here to try to kind of change that stigma, because this is a community for us as well, and it's a community where we can excel just like anybody else can. There's a lot of skills that's out there. There's a lot of things that we as a people can learn and enjoy in this community. So we're definitely, again, we're pushing the safety. We're pushing the consent. We're pushing
fame.
Exactly. We're pushing the education. We are pushing mental health, because it's just all important. It's something that you have to grasp. It's something that you have to have. This isn't fun and games. Right. Even though it might seem like it is, it's not fun and games, because you are taking, and I'm kind of diving deep, but even on taking responsibilities as dominants, or taking responsibilities as submissives, or even just being a top, doing performing things, or a bottom, and what I mean by top and bottom, it could be, someone who performs demos. So it could be the person that, is the dominant person in that time. They might not be a dominant per se, but they're the dominant person, the one in control in that time. The bottom is the person who is receiving. So even taking on those roles, you can't leave that responsibility of your safety to, oh, well, he's my dominant. No, you have to take your own safety. That dominant, that's a lot. I say it all the time. It's a lot to put that responsibility on a dominant. They're looking out for their own mental health, making sure they're good. Yeah. They're, of course, still making sure you're good. That communication is there. But you also have to be aware, okay, let me check him out. Is he okay? Before I even step into this. You don't want to get with somebody that, hey, yeah, we safe word and you're safe word and red, and he's still going or she's still going. So, definitely we're learning how to be responsible for ourselves as well in this. And again, it all starts with knowing the foundation of what this is, and then stepping into whatever direction you want to go to. You just have to find it. And like we say, it's a journey. So you got to start somewhere, and you're always going to grow. I don't care how long you've been in this. We never know everything. So there's probably stuff that you're going to ask us, or we'll come up with and be like, we don't know. Right. Let us find out, or let us get such and such on the phone and see if they can answer that. Because we're never, I say constantly, I'm still always learning something.
We just like life every day.
Yeah, just like life. So, we're excited. I'm really looking for this to be a great help to our community as a whole. And what are we thinking? Every other week, or?
Yeah, every other week, doing a podcast. And we are super excited about just having more people coming on, to really share their insights and their expertise, because it is definitely about mastering your craft,
Yes.
and like she said, every day we learn something new. We should, we should learn something new every day. Nobody knows it all, and
That's true.
we always have room for growth, room for elevation and progress. That should be definitely our main goal in life. So we can definitely expound upon anything that we may feel or had an idea about or might have piqued our interest. We just want to delve a little deeper, just so that way you can have more clarity and understanding, so that you say, okay. And, at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt to try, but you always want to be safe, sane, and consensual when you do that.
Absolutely.
Because we hear of too many horror stories in regards to experiences that a lot of people have had in the lifestyle. And unfortunately, it's still what we deal with on a day-to-day basis with just in a regular life. Applies the same thing within the lifestyle. You still have narcissists, you still have, manipulators, abusers, so it's many variations. It's an onion, it's constant layers. So we're definitely going to be peeling back them layers more and more and more and more.
Peeling them back. Touchy and all. Exactly.
Everything. And we just want to make it very clear that BDSM does not involve sex. It's all about the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pleasure.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
Me, because I was 2 years ago, I was like, I'm gonna delve back into the lifestyle and see what's going on and see if I'm comfortable enough to partaking and finding a community. And unfortunately, I kept seeing that blur, that mesh of swinging and BDSM. I've been a swinger. I know what it's like to be a swinger. That's basically what it was about. It's about the actual intercourse. Let's get it on.
That's what
but
it is.
BDSM, no. I want to be able to focus on my senses. I want to focus on that pure pleasure. That pleasure without the penetration. What that looks like. What that feels like.
Well, it's like we were talking about the other day. And we are people of color based here, so a lot of our conversation is geared toward us. So it was like we were saying the other day when we were talking, because a lot of people do mix up the whole idea that BDSM it's sex, it's da 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 da, because he did this, he did, and this happened, and we had sex after. Okay, again, that comes along with the uneducated side of things. Again, I'm old school, she's old school. So when I came into this, it was always taught that the sexual aspect was something that was only between you and within your dynamic. What we do is very sensual. That some of the things that we do are very sensual. Even you might not believe it, but I'm a proponent of it. Even sometimes impact and things like that are very sexual. It's sensual. It just depends on what you like. And we'll talk about that stuff, but everybody doesn't like impact.
Right.
But for someone like me, impact at times is very sensual. It makes you start feeling things and everything. On the sensual side, like we have a dominant, he does fire play. I do fire play.
I was her demo model.
So, and things like knife play, and knife play does not always involve blood.
No.
See, there's a lot of things that we're going to dive into, but knife play, things like that, they're very central because to have someone take a knife and just run it across your skin, really delicately.
That's how it felt. Yeah.
Things like that, of course, they make you feel aroused. They start stirring up things and oh my gosh, and a lot of times people take those emotions and those feelings and they think, okay, so now we're supposed to turn around and have sex. But that's not what it's about. what we were discussing was the fact that we as a people, us, I think a lot of things have become sexualized within the people of color. So, let me say this correctly. If we go to our counterparts, you will really understand that this is not about sex. Well, what makes them right? Well, if you start looking at the history of what this is, it's not about sex. When it comes to us, a lot of things just culturally, even outside of this, have become sexualized from slavery times to now. I mean, look at our music videos, look at our music, and so everything is sexually charged. So when we have this mindset of that's what it is, it goes over to this because one, again, we're not being educated on this. So, oh my God, he made me feel this way. I absolutely had an O from him doing fireplay or her doing fireplay or him running this knife down me. So I'm automatically turned on and think, oh yeah, well, we're supposed to go have sex but that's not what it is. It's supposed to be opening up your mind and your body to all these different feelings and emotions that you can get from this. Again, if you're in a dynamic, go do what you do. Hey, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
That's your thing. But I see a lot of times that people just going to events and demoing and da 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 da, and okay, that's what they're looking for. And I've heard bad experiences. People, oh well, I don't like BDSM because I didn't get to do that afterwards. Okay, well, probably because that dominant or that top had no intentions for that. He was there for what this is. So that stigma is definitely there. Oh, it's just a bunch of people running around beating each other and having sex. No, it's not. It's really not. And a lot of people don't like that though. You have people that, oh, yes, it is, because that's where your mindset is, and the truth behind it, again, that's not what it is. So it comes with education and learning. I mean, again, if that's what you negotiate, and we'll talk about negotiating also, right. If that's what you negotiate between what you do, you are two consenting adults. And again, consenting adults. If that's what you consent and negotiate to do, then by all means, because you're exchanging energy, you're exchanging a lot of things when you are doing these things in sessions. So, okay, it's not saying that you can't if that's what you negotiate.
Right.
But we really want to break that stigma of people going in thinking, okay, well, yeah, I get to have sex after I do this, because it's not. And a lot of people wind up getting hurt. A lot of people wind up mentally disturbed and things like that, because you do have some people that use this for that. And it's like, okay, after all is said and done, okay, you were just using me. So that's why we're saying we're definitely doing this mental health check. We always want to check on the mental health, see what's really going on, evaluating where we stand, and making sure we're clear about what's going on. If you're in a dynamic, what's going on in my dynamic? If you're looking for a dynamic, what am I looking for? Am I looking for the right things? Because it's easy to get caught up. It's easy to get caught up in something that you don't know, especially when you don't know. So that's why we're here. We're educating. We don't want the bad stories. We don't want the horror stories. I can tell plenty of horror stories of just working in the ER and seeing things that come into the ER and people not really understanding that's what she does. So she really knows how it happened. But I'm going to tell her I fell down the steps. No, you was trying something freaky. That's what you was doing. But I love it because that's an opportunity to educate. And I've done it plenty of times. And they're like, oh, okay. So, yeah, again, the simplest things can be so dangerous in this. That's why we stress, please learn. We'll have online munches where we'll have people showing different skills, teaching different skills. If it's not something you can come out and actually be at a munch, they'll be online so you can actually learn these things before you just go try something, because you don't want to hurt somebody. You don't want that on your conscience, and definitely we're trying to thwart all of that. So come along for the ride, come along for the journey. It's going to be fun, it's going to be silly, it's going to be educational, and it's going to be serious. We're definitely not going to take the serious element out of this, because this is a serious conversation that we
Right.
had. So definitely we're looking forward to where this is going to go, and watching you grow, watching us grow, because I'm pretty sure there's some things we're going to learn as
Oh yeah,
well.
for sure.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're really looking forward to this
Journey, self-love
Absolutely.
journey. Yes.
Yes.
This
Yes.
sensually twisted journey. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because we want you to step over here to the erogenous zone, because that's the main purpose and premise of this. It's all about tantalizing the senses, because our skin is the biggest organ that we have. So there's so many ways that you can stimulate this. Okay. From head to toe.
You see who the sensual one is? Miss Sensual over here. Give me the floggings and the whips, but I love it because it's the hot and cold of it. So you get both sides. You get the sensual side, then you get over here. I'm like, give me the hardcore. What are we doing?
Look, don't get it twisted, okay? Because I love.
Hey, we like getting twisted though.
Yeah. That's why we call it sensually twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we very sensual over here, but we twisted over here too. So you getting some of both, best of the both worlds,
Exactly. Can't take parts. You got to eat it all. So
I'm trying to tell you.
Yes, absolutely.
But we definitely want you guys to definitely stay tuned, locked in, loaded with us, because we do have some experiences that we're going to be hosting. Okay. So I know you guys definitely want to be part of that, because we are planning something for our birthday month in February. Yes. And I'm going to be doing a whole debut of my burlesque. Hey.
She's going to get out there and try to get it all, shake it all up. She's going to exude her sensualness for you guys. I'm loving it. And we have about 5 performers, dominants that are coming. We have 1 Dommy and 4 dominants that are coming, and they are phenomenal. It's going to be basically a showcase. Because a lot of times you go to events and everybody's doing everything, and you don't really get a chance. And the performers and the presenters that we've come up with, they are amazing at what they do. They all have certain things that, most of them do a lot of everything, which they'll be able to showcase after the fact. But we are spotlighting them on like one thing that they're just amazing at. And I love every one of them because they're amazing.
Yeah, mastered their craft like it is an art, okay? This is an art form, all right?
Yes, and that's the thing. These are people that we know are experienced. They are masters at what they do. Definitely keep everything safe, sane, consensual, and they're amazing. They're really, really good at what they do. So you'll be able to catch, because it's going to be like a sensual kind of showcase, because we want to kind of do the sensual side of this, because again, everybody sees the hardcore. So you'll be able to experience and see firsthand, not trying to catch a glimpse of everybody, but different things. We're going to have, we're going to have Firefly going on. Gosh, I forgot what else, but there's like 5 different people.
There's a lot.
I think we have one. They're working on doing something with, I think it's ultraviolet whips. I mean, it's amazing. Once you really get a chance to see it, you will be in awe, because it is amazing.
Yeah, because
it's really amazing.
The first time I experienced Fireplay, Miss Chris, like seeing it afterwards, I was just like, wow. Like what you think in your mind when you hear certain words, fire play, knife play, you thinking all the negative connotations. You're not thinking of it being an art, like it's beautiful. It's wow, it's warm. It makes me feel good. It's calming.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I was totally blown. I was like, oh yeah, I like this.
Okay, but look, we got to give credit where credit is
Oh,
due.
of course.
So
Hands down.
I'm really I'm really getting into it and learning. So after I did what I did, the person who taught me, Sir Sheer Khan, who is a part of our group, and we'll be doing Fireplay at our.
And he's celebrating his birthday in February.
Yes, it's a whole, and he's actually the I guess if you would call it the reigning dominant of Twisted Elegance right now. So definitely, because I will tell you, I totally wholeheartedly do not believe in a submissive trying to educate a dominant. Miss Warrior here, she's on that Dommy spectrum. She just hasn't claimed it yet, but you know. But as far as like our dominant education, yeah, he's amazing. Again, he's wonderful. But he went behind me and did full Fireplay on her, and she just she's captured now. She
and he did the knife play too. I was like, so 2 things that I said, nah, I ain't doing, and he said to me afterwards, so you're not gonna say no, right? Never to anything, right? No, I'm not.
Same thing.
I'm always going to be open and willing to learn and explore. You can't say no to something you ain't never tried. You feel me? Like, you gotta try at least one time.
Right. And he was exactly the same one that got me into it, because I was the same way. I was like, I'm scared of Fireplay. I liked fire, but I was scared of Fireplay. I was never going to do knife play. I'm like, ain't nobody cut me. But I did not know at that time that it's not about blood. It's not about cutting. And because I was so close-minded to, I'm not doing that, I never took the time to look into what forms there were. So I was actually opened up, like she was, to Fireplay and knife play by him. And it's amazing. He's amazing. He's very skilled. As far as teaching on the dom spectrum, he's very educated. So he gives a lot of information. Well, he gives a lot of information on both sides of the slash, but he's very, very knowledgeable. So yeah, we'll refer to him. We'll use him a lot. He'll be on because we're gonna drag him on.
Right.
And you know, again, you'll be able to see some. I don't even know. I think he may be willing to do maybe some of the munches and show some different things. I know we've got rope tires, suspension people. We've got, like I said, he does fire and knife. We've got all different kind of skills that go on, even down to, I think he like makes his own candles for wax play. I mean, different things, you know, different things.
Talent.
It's just not all about beating and no, it's not that. There are so many different things and so many different aspects of this. So we're really excited about sharing all of that with you guys. And I don't know, maybe we'll get to the point at one point, maybe we can do it every week. We're just, like I said, we're just starting. So we're really trying to, you see, we just popped up here today, like, okay, we're going to video and see what happens. So we're just trying, you know, trying it out. And again, we are educated. You know, a lot of people are event. Oh, we host events. We do host events. We are going to host events. I'm going to try to maybe kind of do something like every 3 months or so. But we are really here to educate and, you know, just build a community for us where, you know, we're safe. You know, we don't have a safe spot. So this place is safe. Twisted, the central Twisted area here is safe. Whatever you need to talk about, if you need help, if you're going through anything, this is a safe place to come to. And we want to make sure that everybody knows that it's not where, oh my God, I can't say this because they're going to look at me different, or, you know, I need help. I'm in this. I don't know how to get out of it. I'm scared to tell somebody. We're always going to be a safe place if you need us. The one thing that the lifestyle is supposed to be, it's supposed to be the one place where you can come and not be judged. And that's what Sensually Twisted and Sensual Dominance and Twisted Elegance, that's what we are. We are a non-judgmental place. We're safe. And we're here, you know. So if you need us, let us know. One of us will jump on, one of us are get back with you or something, and we just need you to know we're here.
Yeah,
So,
we're a bunch of weirdos, you know.
yeah,
We embrace our weird.
we embrace our weirdness.
Yes.
We love it. There's nothing wrong with being weird. Nothing wrong with liking what you like. Nothing wrong with enjoying what this is.
Yes.
So, be comfortable in yourself. That's why our number one thing is know yourself.
Yes.
Because if you're not comfortable with this, you're going to be hesitant, and then you're not going to enjoy what this is. You're not going to try new things, and there's no need of being in this vast world of amazingness.
Right.
I love it.
Right.
And I'm not going nowhere. I love it. So there's no need of being here and not being comfortable enough to experience what it has. Everything might not be for you.
Right.
And that's cool.
You got to be comfortable in the skin that you're in.
Yep.
Okay.
And everything, like I was saying, everything might not be comfortable for you. That doesn't mean you have to try it. Mm-hmm. If it's not your kink, it's just not your kink.
Yeah.
Keep on moving. Nobody expects you to like everything.
Right.
There's plenty of stuff I don't like. Our friend, our counterpart Dom has plenty of implements I don't like. So
the works.
The works. And I'm gonna see if I can't get him to come and show some of them. Because
it's the endless bag.
That's what she was like. You keep taking stuff out, and I'm looking like I've never seen that.
I gotta step my game up. I need some of that.
Okay. Okay. Right. So there's so many different things. You're going to learn so much. And this is the crazy thing. You're going to learn so much stuff about yourself. If you take the time, if you join in and listen to us and take the things that we share with you, take this knowledge of learning yourself, you're going to learn so much stuff about yourself. It will scare you. Because I know in the beginning, I was like, oh, I like that. What?
I didn't even know I was about
I know. That life. And it's so much there that you're going to learn about yourself. And one thing that I appreciate yesterday, one of the people in the group, it was Elan. She was saying, I learned grace. Mm-hmm. Because when you start on this journey and you start digging into yourself and you start finding things and you're like, okay, I'm not supposed to like this. Mm-hmm. Because traditionalism, you're not supposed to like that. You're not supposed to do that. When you learn to find that grace with yourself and say it's okay, mm-hmm. when you find that area where you can forgive yourself for not allowing a lot of things to happen because of what other people thought about you what you thought people were going to think, when you find that spot, you open up a whole door. Yep, that's the sweet spot, because you're going to start loving and learning, like, okay, I do like this. I don't like that, but I like this. And you're going to learn that grace with yourself, saying, okay, I can deal with this, mm-hmm. but it's okay for me not to like this.
Right.
So definitely you're going to learn so much. That's again why we're stressing mental health and being healthy up here, because mm-hmm. up here, when you start digging into stuff, it's going to be like, ooh, that's me.
Shadow work.
Exactly. The shadow work behind it. And this is one of the biggest things we stress, because that's one of the biggest things that does not get done in this community. People don't do the work. Mm-hmm. They want the scene, they want the play, they want the titles, mm-hmm. they want to be able to walk around and pop people with floggers and this and that and that. They want to be able to be told what to do,
right?
But they don't want to do the work to actually get to where they need to be mm-hmm. in this. So definitely, we're stressing all of this. Y'all gonna hate us because we just gonna be talking about you. Who are you? What are you? You gonna hate us? You gonna be like, well, God, then I already know.
It's all right. We're gonna have a mirror session.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna have you looking in that mirror.
Absolutely. Okay. Journaling. So we're just going to get it all out. You might as well get your pens, your paper, get your mirror, get your thinking cap on.
All of it.
We want some interaction. We're going to do some live sessions where, you'll be able to interact with us, ask your questions. We're going to ask you questions. We want the answers, like,
right.
What we learned last week. What did you figure out about yourself? Because that's what it is. I can't give you. Yeah, we can't give you all the answers. We can give you a platform to think about it and discover it, but the answers are going to be for you, and they're going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
So Definitely. Again, this isn't cookie cutter. We can give you a platform. We can give you a outline,
blueprint,
and
yeah.
you just have to fill it in. And everybody can do it. If this is, and you might get in this and decide, you know what, I thought this was for me, but it's not, and that's okay too. That's the whole point of discovering what this is. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of goodies for you. We're gonna have a good time.
Welcome. Put that seatbelt on because it's gonna be a deep dive. You gotta be ready.
The roller coaster ride, the ups, the downs, we got all of it. We have all of it. So might as well buckle up and get ready.
Yes.
I'm so happy. I'm ecstatic because this is needed. It's really needed.
Yeah.
It's really needed.
Yeah.
And to take the focus off of outside, we got to focus on you. So we are definitely, I'm excited that this is going to help so many people and help us too. I mean,
right.
I already said I want to go back to the basics and start. There might be something I missed. I'm greedy. I want it all. I'm like, let me go see what I missed.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. We have plenty of resources that we're going to give out, and because we're not saying and we're not putting down as what we say is law.
Right.
Absolutely not. What we do is our opinions, our experiences. What you experience might be different.
Right.
The information that we get, we're going to share it with you. So it's not like, oh, they said that. No, we got this from here. We got this from there. We've researched this. We've researched that. So it's not like you're not going to get a bunch of information or references from everywhere else. And it's just going to be what we say.
Right.
So we're going to do our homework for you guys.
Exactly.
So we're going to do the homework. We're going to give it to you and ask you to do your homework. And when you do it and have it for yourself, it sticks. You're going to keep it with you. You're going to carry it with you. And that's what all we're doing. We're just wanting to water and plant little seeds and help our community grow. We are in North Carolina.
Yes.
So yeah, we're trying to build a wonderful community here. And definitely open to reaching out to other places. Again, one of our presenters that's going to be at the showcase in February is coming all the way from South Carolina. They have an amazing group there. Love them. So, we're definitely looking to build and just expand and collaborate. So, yeah.
And that's really how we started, and that's what we want to empower other houses, other groups, organizations to, at the end of the day, the common denominator is this lifestyle, being able to be comfortable in our skin and express ourselves however that may look like, right?
Absolutely.
So just because you have this house over here, this group over here, why not us? We can collaborate. We can come together. We all have bits and pieces because it's a puzzle. We all have bits and pieces of the information, bits and pieces of the experience, so communication that's the foundation for everything. So this is where we start,
Absolutely. We have no room for gatekeepers. Boo. We don't like them.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So that's a big thing. That's a big thing. If you have knowledge, share it. You have skill, share it. What is it going to hurt? There's nothing in this that's a competition.
No.
There's nothing in this that has to say, oh, well, if I show you that, then you're going to be better than me. It's not a point about being better. It's not a point about, keeping anything to yourself, because the knowledge what are you going to do with just the knowledge for yourself?
Right.
It's just going to sit there.
That's it. That's
all. So we're stressing to anybody. I mean, if you have knowledge, again, we don't know everything. So if there's something that you're knowledgeable about and you want to talk about it, hey, we're here. You might teach us something. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to teach us plenty.
Okay.
So, definitely don't be the gatekeeper. I have the biggest pet peeve with people like that, because you may know something that's going to help the next person or something that might save the next person's life in this.
And that's really the bottom line, because, my background in mental health, Chris' background in mental health, like that is very imperative for us, especially this is such a vulnerable lifestyle.
Yes.
So that is so important. Like, we want to be able to save lives, save souls, save minds, being able to empower and enlighten people. So that's all. We're just here to just pour,
and
pour.
bring that good energy to
Okay.
our people in this community.
Yes. It's all about the good vibes,
And
positive
let the
vibes.
negative stamina go with us.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So, next episode, I don't know what the topic's
I
going
was
to
about
be.
to say, should we start off with the dynamics or with the consents?
Well, we
Vetting?
can. The consent. Or, yeah, we can start with the consents, the foundations of safety. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And we'll give a little you work somewhere in there. Throw a little bit of you work.
Oh,
We
yeah.
give a little bit of
We
you
got to
work
get those you work exercises.
every episode, you're going to get a little bit of you work.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give you that work. But
yes.
we're going to start with the foundations of what this is, because that's important. You can't go anywhere. You can't build on anything unless you got that foundation. So
yeah, you can't have a house without the foundation.
Absolutely. And you might say, oh, I already know that. Tune in anyway, because it might be something that you might not know. Or there may be something that you can contribute, something that we might overlook.
Exactly.
So definitely tune in for that. And hey, we're looking for all the positivity, all the good energy, the good vibes. Might catch us up in here dancing a little bit. Hey. So you don't never know what you're gonna get with us. So definitely we are excited. We keep saying it because we are excited, because this is a journey that we've been wanting to embark on. Because again, we're about the education of this, and it's volatile. It's so needed in our communities. And when you have a passion for what this is, you don't mind educating people on it, and that's what we're about. And I love it because we have a really good group with us that, is open to educating also. So we're just here to have a good time and learn and enjoy and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, a lot of shenanigans.
We're the goof troop over here.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. But it's a good thing, though. But when it's time to be serious, we're serious. But, you don't got to be serious
all the time.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, welcome to Sensually Twisted, the combination of Sensual Dominance and Twisted Elegance. We are on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
We have a Facebook group, Twisted Elegance, and also
Sensual
Dominance. Twisted Elegance is on IG. It's Twisted Elegance North NC. You can contact us via email. Same thing, twistedelegancenc@gmail.com.
And Twisted Elegance for the contact. Because to be honest, how this journey started with Sensual Dominance, right? It started off with just an idea of a book, doing erotic poetry, right? So it started off with Fuego Dosage, and then my daughter, Chef Keon, she's a multifaceted chef. She did her book, which is a dose of fuego. So we decided to collaborate together and do a double dose of fuego. So you get the erotic poetry, you get the aphrodisiac plant-based recipes, and within that, this has been just my expression of my self-love journey. And within that, I was like, you know what? I'm seeing so many people talking about BDSM, but nobody's talking about the old school stuff.
Right.
So that's how I ended up saying sensual dominance. Like, we need to focus more on that. More people are focused on dominance, but more in the aggressive, more what they're seeing is abuse, right? Because that's how it's coming across, but not really tapping into what that impact play, because that's what most people are seeing, the impact play. And they're not understanding how impact play is really sensual, how it really tantalizes and stimulates your senses. So it's just like this whole self-love journey for me, just stepping outside myself and saying I'm comfortable within my skin. I'm tired of people judging me. I'm older now. I'm like, man, forget about that. Like, everybody used to persecute me for being, so open-minded, so, free-spirited. And like I always tell people, I'm a hippie. I'm a 70s baby. I'm a hippie, so
we
it's
love
all about
70 baby.
peace, love, and happiness. Like, come on, get with the program.
Well, one thing you will hear, and you will hear it, and you'll see it, and you'll see us say old school da 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 da. And a lot of people say, oh, that's the way it used to be. No, no, no. It's not a used to be. Like I said in the beginning, things have evolved, yeah, but your foundations are never going to change. So that's what we stand on, you know. And a lot of people will dismiss that, but there's no getting around your sane and your safety and your consent and your risk awareness, because everything that we do has a risk, and you'll learn that. That's what next episode we're talking about. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that next episode, but you're consenting to risk, because because of the volatile side of what we do.
Right.
You know, you're dealing with limbs and tying and knives and impact and things like that. Our bodies, if you want to be honest about it, aren't really geared to take like certain type of impact things at a consistent level and at such a harsh level. That's why when you get in car accidents, you know, you break stuff and this and that and the third. So education wise, that's where you have to know who you're dealing with when you're doing impact play. You got to know, okay, do you know what you're doing? Who taught you how to do this?
Right.
Because you just take some Joe Blow that just got a cane and decided, okay, we're going to try this and beat you to death. Okay, he's busting blood vessels. He's popping. I mean, really. You know, you got somebody with a flog that's in there flogging you, all your little insides that have no set position, that are just floating inside of you. Who says they're not beating your, beating your organs to death? You have to know what you're doing. That's why we said no gatekeeping here. You know, you have people's bodies, you have people's mental, these are things that we have in our hands that we are responsible for. So definitely never let somebody tell you, oh, old school, that's not the way to go. Old school foundation is always going to be the way to go, because it's your foundation on, like we keep saying, your risk, your consent, your safety,
ensuring that sanity.
Yes, insanity. Okay, get somebody on you that ain't quite all together, and they just having a beating fest. No, that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about.
That's why safe words is imperative.
Oh yeah, and even what's my greatest fear, being with. That's why I am very cautious, and I tell people all the time, I am very cautious when I go to things. I'm very cautious when I talk to tops or dominants. I do not bottom. I do not demo with just anybody. It's very few that I have ever in my years of doing this, because my greatest fear is, you can say all day long, I can watch you demo, I can watch you do whatever it is you do, and you can be perfectly fine with them. But you might get on me, and because I kind of like what you're doing, I'm going to let you go. You might get in your own zone, because we will learn about sub-drop. Sub-space. There's such thing as a dom space. So you might get into that little dom space, and you don't hear me saying red, red, red.
That
and
part.
You keep on going, and I'm tied up, cuffed up, and can't move. So that's one of my... It's extreme, but that is like one of my biggest fears. I always say it. I'm like, no. But, there's no telling. So that's why we have a vetting process. That's why you have a negotiation progress. People are like, we don't vetting. What is that? Okay, you need to know who you're dealing with.
That part.
Even if it is just a scene or whatever at an event. So how long you been doing it? What are we doing? Who taught you how to do? I'm going to ask the questions. I don't care. And if they get mad, then it's a problem. You might want to turn around and walk away. And we'll dive into that when you're looking for a dominant. If a dominant gets mad at you for asking them questions about their background, then you need to put up that church finger. Keep on. Thank you. Go ahead, put up that Baptist church thing and get on out of there, because, there's a problem.
No bueno.
Bueno. So these are things that we're going to dive into. Like I said, see, we want to do it and have fun doing it, but these are very serious topics that you need to make sure that you're aware of before you just jump into things. Because I hate hearing the stories of I wasn't aware, or I didn't know, and I had this experience happen to me. They hurt my heart so bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it could all be avoided if we took the time to educate. and if we took the time to look, but a lot of people don't know that there's more to this than that.
Right.
Nobody's ever told them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're here to cry loud that it's, let us teach you before you run off and get into this and have some type of mental trauma that you cannot
come back from
that part. And it happens. It really happens. Sometimes unintentionally, and sometimes intentionally. You have people that are in this that intentionally do stuff to harm people.
Right.
But we're going to teach you the red flags to know that, hey, wait a minute, that might not be what I want to get into.
Exactly.
So we're going to teach you how to keep yourself safe and have a good time and look and call out the bad ones.
That part.
No, not me, brother.
Better get you a blow up doll for that.
A blow up doll. Go beat on your pillow.
Okay.
Oh, I love it, guys. This is going to be so much fun, guys. I really hope that you guys just jump on the train with us. Come have a good time. Mm-hmm. As y'all can see, we can talk.
You're right.
So but don't make us do all the talking. Through the week, send in questions, whatever, we'll talk about it. We got the gift of gab. We'll talk about it. Yes. Like I said, live sessions, y'all can talk all y'all want to. Give us a break. You see, I'm sitting here sipping on my tea because all this talking, I'm like, what is all this talking? But I like to talk anyway, so it's all right. And she like to talk more than I do. So this is going to be a fun experience. It really is. It really is. It's going to be good. And we'll have people in, like we said, to kind of take up some of this talking that we doing. This talking some. And just be open to learn. Always come with your pens and your notebook. I guarantee you're always going to learn something that you didn't know. Because I always learn something I didn't know. The more I talk, we're like, oh, really? Yeah, okay. So you always make sure you have your little pencil and your pen. You can always go back and watch it because I believe we're going to just make them where they can be rewatched, correct?
Rewatched, yes.
So we're going to be YouTube. We're going to try to hit what? Apple Podcasts. This is Spotify. I don't know about iHeart. We're looking again. We're testing. We're test running right now. So we're going to put this specific one in as many places as we can. So in our notes at the bottom, you'll see everywhere we got it to go and work. Or we might have to tweak this and that and that. Right. But it will have everything listed below. We'll have all the contact information. Again, we even have a FET group. Well, Twisted has a FET life group that we're trying. I don't be on FET too much, but I'm going to try to go back to FET and start working FET a little bit more. We do have a group there that we're going to try to get it moving again. Again, it's all about education. If you're looking for events, we can. There's not that many that I refer people to, but there's plenty. Yeah, I can refer you to some when we're not having something. Right. So definitely learn, get out and experience it, and just enjoy what it is that we do. That's all we're here for, just to have a good time, live life, no judgment. And I should just make a big old sign across it. This is a no judgment. No judgment zone. I think we are like the most non-judgmental people. I can't talk about nobody else, but we are like the most non-judgmental people on the planet. Right. So there is nothing that you can tell us or entrust in us that we are going to be like, what?
Right. Like, wow.
You did that? What was wrong with you?
Right. Our first question is, did you enjoy it?
Exactly.
How was it?
Would you do it again?
Right.
If not, why not? So I know not to go do it. Right. That's what we want to do. We're so non-judgmental over here. I feel like the count blah blah blah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we are just like rambling now because we're just excited. But we love what we do. We love this lifestyle. And we're going to make the best of this. We really are.
Yeah, so definitely thank you for tuning in and listening to us in our first debut. And definitely just join us for the journey. Okay?
Absolutely.
You guys have
Give
fun.
yourself
Good
a
one.
hand.
Yeah. Thank you for joining Sensually Twisted.
Bye. Stay twisted, lovies.
Sensual at all times.